What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Mine Your Own. Today we are going to be talking about the elephant in the room, and that is the crypto mining elephant. I'd like to first start by saying that anything in our videos is truly our own opinions. So don't take anything that I say or anybody else says as financial advice. The only advice you should be following is your own. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Are we in that bear market? It's looking that way, guys. When I say the elephant in the room is, we got a few things that are going to be happening in the middle of a bear market, such as Ethereum going away, ETH 2.0, moving to proof of stake, which I think is a huge mistake for Ethereum as a project, but only time will be able to tell. So let's get into my thoughts, where we're heading, and what we're going to do. This is the worst I've seen it yet. I've only been doing this 9 months. But there's always flash crashes and stuff like that, and they usually start to recover pretty quickly. The thing that's a little more concerning about where we're at right now, from a stock market trader, is it's a continual downcline or decline, which is not normally a good thing. Usually if it goes 2 to 3 days, 4 days down, I think we're beyond that now. Usually what'll happen is you'll get a big pop back up. And kind of what's driving this is, at one time crypto wasn't so tethered to the stock market. Just because the stock market went down didn't necessarily mean that crypto would go down. And that was the thing that I liked about crypto. And that's kind of the reason I started trading it. But now that's not so. Because now you have these big banks and these big companies buying into crypto. These big investors buying Bitcoin. Your Elon Musk's, your big banks. So what that's done is it's kind of coupled it with the stock market, which sucks. You would think that if Bitcoin was a hedge for, like, say, gold, where people used to put all their money in gold. Now that you're seeing the opposite effect, which kind of sucks. As the stock market fell, gold prices went up. And that's kind of what, or I guess myself, and a lot of other people thought, well, that I'll put my money in crypto and we'll go the opposite direction. It's not true anymore. Because now these big banks, these big investors, they get scared and they pull their money. And it's not necessarily that they get scared. They know that the little guy's scared. The way it works is they go and they build confidence for you. They go in and they start buying up Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it is, and the price starts going up, so you jump in. Problem is, when they jump out, there's a lot of damage done for the small guy. And that's kind of how the stock market works. So now we're kind of coupled with the stock market and crypto. And that's why we're having this steady decline. And then to get into the reason the stock market is crashing. Now, I called this over a year ago that this was coming. And that's because, I mean, you can't just keep pumping trillions of dollars into your economy and think that it's going to fix everything. It's not going to fix everything. And I don't care what your political views are, but both parties are guilty. And it's stupid because they're spending money that's not theirs. They act like it's play money. Well, it's not play money. You can prop it up, but eventually it's going to crash. It doesn't matter how long you do it. Eventually it's got to be paid. So now we have inflation and you have interest rates on the rise. And the interest rates are a necessity. You have to raise the interest rates. There's just no two ways about it. Now, historically, people will say that when you've raised interest rates, that the market suffers, but that's not actually the truth. You go back and you look in history, the stock market has actually done really well after the crash and the interest rates went up. Now, I know it's not what we're taught by all of our political talking heads, but it's the truth. So interest rates going up, it's going to be a necessity. The problem is we're not raising interest rates fast enough to keep up with inflation. And I believe we're at 7% inflation right now. You know, if you go back to the 70s, I believe it was, we were at 11% inflation and interest rates were 20%. That's huge. That's a lot. People are complaining about 1%, 2%. I think they need to get a grip on reality and history. But we have to. And a lot of what's going to happen, I believe, is going to happen in the next few weeks. This coming up week to be particularly that I'm paying close attention to, and that's going to be these big companies, these big Fortune 500 companies, their earnings reports. Their earnings reports are going to be, yes, their earnings reports in the stock market for Fortune 500 companies is going to decide our crypto profitability. That's big, but that's telling also. That tells us just how closely we are coupled with the stock market. It's a little delayed, but it sucks. Crypto doesn't stand on its own two legs. Money's money. And any time that you got billionaires playing in the same pond as you, things can change quickly. So when we talk about mining strategy, and this is kind of where I sit, when Ethereum 2.0 comes along, there's going to be a huge void. And I've been watching, as I'm sure most of you have over the past few months. You'll see Ethereum, you know, and these are just prime examples right here, okay, as the number one coin. Sometimes. And it's becoming less and less. The problem is you got Coin that pops up there, Ergo that pops up there, Firo that pops up there, NIM that pops up there. You got all these coins that'll just pop up there for 24 hours and be the most profitable coin. When Ethereum goes away, we got a serious problem. Do I think, in my personal opinion, there's another coin that's like Ethereum that's going to step in and take that role for the next bull run? My answer is no. I don't think there is. I don't think that Flux, I don't think that Firo, I don't think that Toncoin, I don't think any of those stand any chance whatsoever of becoming the next Ethereum. So, and this is a prime example. Let's look at ETH right here on a 3090. $3.75 a day after electricity. Now, this is my electricity cost. I'm only at 6 cents. There's people paying way 3 times that have this decision to make as well. Let's look at $3.75 a day. The next profitable coin is Toncoin at $2.86. That's $1 difference. That's a huge gap that has to be filled. Is it going to be Ergo? I mean, let's go down here to, an A5000. $1 difference, $1.15 difference. I don't think there's a coin on the market that can become that profitable to ever get us back to where we are today, or last month, or even 6 months ago. The problem that you're going to have is, if you truly believe this, are you prepared to switch your mining rigs every 8 hours, every 16 hours to mine something different? Because that's how big of a profitability difference it'll flip in 24 hours. I don't see any coin, and I'm not an expert by far, but I've done a lot of research, and I just see no coin that can step in and fill that void. There is going to be something that I'm going to bring up in another video coming up soon. That is probably the only alternative. But I'm not willing to bet my head. I'm not willing to hedge my bets on it. So here's the thing. We're talking thousands of dollars. You got a lot of guys out there with nice sized home farms that are telling you, I can't wait to buy your GPUs for $75. Let's go down here to the 580s. 94 cents a day right now after electricity. These are going to be like these by the time the next bull run. Those are some old GPUs. And they want to buy these at $75, $100. They talk about, they were there for the last dump. The problem is, like I said, April 2017. By the time the next bull run happens, that's what this card's going to look like. 384 gigabyte. And the question is there another Ethereum out there? Because if there's not, what's the next profitable coin on a 480 or 580 right now? 48 cents. 48 cents. So now if you've got, and this is with me having a 6 cents. If you're paying 12 cents, 18 cents, 24 cents, these cards are worthless. And if you haven't been paying attention, they're starting to come to the market. And I can't say worthless because I have these cards, okay? So I feel it. I feel the pain. My point is do you get out now? Do you sell these? Take $200 or $300 for them right now and then go up here and reinvest them and get you some 6600 XTs. Love these cards. Look at the efficiency difference. My problem with it is we get back to that question. What coin's going to step up and fill that void? And I just can't find that coin in my head. So are you better off selling? Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about it. I'm really considering it, because there's no sense in losing thousands of dollars when you don't have to. Sell now, buy back in a couple years. If that new coin pops up, At least you were experienced. You know how to do it. You know how to go about doing it. And it was fun. If you do this as just a hobby, then so be it. You're doing great. But if you do this and because you want to grow and you want to be profitable, you really need to do some thinking. You really need to do some thinking. I believe, like I said, this next coming up week's kind of going to give us an idea of what we can expect moving forward. I do think that it's been time. I predicted this last year, but I think it's been time for this pullback. The problem that I have in my head is how far are we going to pull back? Because it could be huge. So it's kind of like gambling with a little less risk, because at least you can get something out of your money, out of your hardware. It's just a matter of how long you're willing to hold on. And I can't see. You know, I've watched some other YouTubers. They said, well, if as long as I can cover my electric bill, I'll stack those coins. Well, if you're covering your electric bill, you can't stack those coins. So that means, you know, if you're paying $500 a month right now for your small mining farm, and you're going to be profiting $300, that means you're coming out of your pocket for $200 if you're going to stack those coins. Now you sell those coins, okay, and you got to pay the remaining balance of $200. It doesn't hardly seem worth it to me. So basically, you're starting a savings account. You're paying a higher electric bill for hopes that the bull run will come again, which historically it does. But how much money do you lose over that time? And how long does it take for us to get there? There's no guarantees that it's a 2 to 3 year cycle. So it doesn't, you can't stack the coins and waiting for them to gain more value if you got the bills to pay. So it doesn't really make sense from a financial standpoint. Be paying for excess electric in hopes that your coins go up. And then we come to the other problem. Will your shit coin hold up? That's the problem. Because we don't know what's going to happen in a bear market. We don't know that coin's going to be able to weather the storm. Now, I've heard that a lot of coins have went away that looked like they were really good projects in the last bear market. That's a little disheartening to hear that. I wasn't there in the last bear market, so I don't know, but that's a little disheartening, because you went and stacked all these shit coins and you paid a couple $100 extra a month in electric to find out they're going to be worth nothing. So I don't know. I'm an opportunist where there's places to make money. I go make that money. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in business for 18 years. I own 2 businesses aside from crypto mining. And I can tell you that there's some things here that don't make financial sense. And you may be too late to get out with some of these older cards. I've been watching closely. You might be able to, depending on when you bought them, you might be able to get out with minimal damage right now. So with that being said, you know, I thought about the flip side of this. I thought about, you know what? What if I stick around and I go and buy up all those GPUs too? Because I could. I'd like to buy your $75 RX 580. So what do? I stack up all this hardware that's not going to be profitable in hopes that it will? That doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make financial sense. That's like starting a junkyard full of cars that you think is going to be valuable someday. Some of them might be. How long is it going to take you to get there? What could you have done different with that money that would have made you more money in the 30 years that you sat there and let those cars rust in your antique junkyard? Doesn't make sense. So with that being said, I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer today, but it's just something that's been on my mind the past few months. And as we watch the market decline, if it helps any of you make a decision one way or the other, you know, but from a financial standpoint, that's just how I look at things. So I'm going to be making a decision sometime this week on if I'm going to sell and what I'm going to sell. I don't think that I'm going to sell. I'm going to start with inefficient cards, primarily Polaris cards, and then I'll work my way through the market as time goes on and things become less profitable. But I think this coming up week will set the stage on where we're going, and I really hope that maybe we'll start to get a little bit of clarity, one way or the other. The market's crazy, so you really never know, but you can start to get a feeling for where things are heading. Like I said, I've said this last year, we're due for a big old peel back. Can't just keep pumping money into the market. It cannot continue on the rise that it's on. No way, no how. What goes up will come down eventually. So that's kind of where we're at right now, guys. And like I said, didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer, and I didn't want to bring a video that was depressing, but hopefully maybe it gives you guys a way of looking at things just a little differently. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope there's another coin that pops in here in the next couple months that really looks like the Ethereum killer that can go and fill those shoes. But man, is that a lot of space to take up. That means that there has to be another project that's going to have to come along. And my problem is if there was a current project, we'd start to see it fighting right now. And we're not seeing it. So take that for what it's worth. But there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, and then there's everybody else. And there's anything else that's there is not a proof of work. So where does that put us? You got it. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to put a video out there to let you guys know where I stand. And I'm going to be doing another video here about potentially where I think that a lot of miners are going to end up. We will talk to you guys soon. If you like what you heard today, please hit that like button, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. Getting way more views than we are subscribers, guys. Try to help us out here. Let's get moving up here, and we'll keep making some great content. We'll talk to you soon.